in stock, including portable oxygen concentrators, CPAPs, masks, lift chairs, wheelchairs, scooters, hospital beds, supplies, and anything else you need. Get it when you need it. Check out LowryDrug.com or call 704-873-2247. Lowry Drug, your hometown source since 1959. Across from Iredell Memorial Hospital. We are worth the drive. Come see us.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
I want to see the kind of industries that are opening up.
This is Local Biz Now with Joe Vagnone, where your business matters. Local Biz Now.
You have to determine what is working, what isn't working.
Joe Vagnone is a respected business broker, helping individuals buy and sell businesses. Joe has successfully owned and operated many companies in a variety of industries. This is Local Biz Now. Because your business matters.
Welcome to the #1 live talk business radio show in North Carolina, coming to you live from our unofficial Burner Cigar Studio, home of the finest premium cigars and cigar smokers in the world, located in Birkdale Village. I am Joe Vagnone, and you are listening to Local Biz Now, where we hope to inspire, inform, and entertain you, because that's what we do here at WSIC. This is Local Biz Now, where your business matters. This show has been live going on 12 years strong. We have interviewed well over 1,000 business owners and community leaders. Please subscribe to the Joe Vagnone Business Broker YouTube channel. Again, that's Joe Vagnone Business Broker YouTube channel. We are live on the book, live on the tubes, live on the X, and live on the chain. For those of you that don't know Joe Talk, that is Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X, live on LinkedIn or WSIC News, and we are wherever you get your podcasts. And as always, thank you for joining us. You're in for a treat this month. For this entire month, I offer you my dear friend and personal advisor and go-to gal, as Julie and I affectionately refer to as #1. Only on Local Biz Now, where your business matters. If you've ever listened to the show, you already know who I'm talking about. That's right. Welcome back, Sherré DeMao. Whenever Sherré joins us, we're not just having a conversation. We're getting a master's class in how to actually grow a business the right way. She's been one of our top returning voices for many years because she doesn't deal in theory. She works in real-world execution, scaling companies, fixing operational bottlenecks, and driving profitability, and helping businesses build something that actually lasts. Sherré is the founder and CEO of BizGrowth, Inc., an award-winning firm focused on helping companies achieve next-level scalability, stronger market positioning, and sustainable growth. She's strategic advisor and fractional CFO to businesses across the country. She's been recognized as one of MSN's top 10 women trailblazers in her field. She also a Forbes Council thought leader, a national speaker, and the author of Me, Myself, and Inc., with a new edition dropping soon. Plus, more books on the way focusing on profitability and business agility. Bottom line, when Sherré DeMao shows up, you want to be paying attention, because there's going to be some takeaways you can use for your business immediately. I present to you with pride Sherré DeMao's BizGrowth, Inc. World of Economic Vitality. Sherré, the show's all yours. Take it away.
Thanks so much, Joe. Really appreciate it. It's always a pleasure to be here. It's always a pleasure to talk with and to small business owners and help inspire them, motivate them, and help them realize that they're not alone, that there are resources out there are opportunities out there, and they should never feel stuck. And your show definitely helps that, and that's why I love coming back here. Today, as you've shared the last couple of weeks, I've had a theme for each week, and this week is literally focused on scaling and kind of the secret weapon that many businesses are now using to scale affordably with high-level expertise, and that's through fractional executive engagements. And I certainly am one myself as a chief operating officer on call or a chief strategy officer on call. And you're going to hear from a chief revenue officer, a fractional chief revenue and sales officer, and a fractional CFO as well later today, which I'm real excited about because I've known these guys for quite some time. But let's talk about scaling a business. Let's talk about what happens. Something that we developed many years ago, as Joe says, we like to base everything on validated, not just what we think might work. And we developed a model called the economic vitality model that looked at why businesses might get stuck and have a difficulty scaling, and also why we only see 25% of businesses actually making it past 15 years, which is still an alarming. And I have the bodacious goal that I believe every business can be successful. I really, really do. You just need to know what you don't know and then do what you don't know to do, okay? So let's look at this economic vitality model. And I know I'm on camera here with my writing on this paper, but it is around the IQ of a business, the EQ of a business, the VQ, which I call velocity quotient, and then the PQ, which I call the profitability quotient. Okay, so let's talk about where businesses get stuck. And most businesses get stuck in what I call the intelligence quotient, the IQ, and it's because the business got started by a business owner that either had a high level of experience or competency, or had knew how to deliver or provide or produce offerings. But where do they get stuck? That's where a strategic officer like me comes in, the ability to analyze business complexities, competitive intelligence and positioning, intellectual property and proprietary holdings, so you have something that no one else can profess they have, and just the ability to be strategic. So okay, now let's take it to the next levels, the emotional quotient. That emotional quotient just isn't about your people. It's about your suppliers. It's about your customers. It's about how effectively you engage everybody. And what about that velocity quotient? Well, the velocity quotient is engaging everybody in a way that's going to help velocity happen through sales, through promotion, through operations, all across the board. And then you have the profitability quotient and how you're leveraging your profits for greater growth. So you can start to see why I have a chief revenue officer sitting next to me and a chief financial officer, fractional, sitting next to me, because both of these are so critical to the success of a business scaling. And what's really important is that a lot of businesses believe they need to hire somebody, but then they look at the dollar amounts that it would take to hire someone at that level, and it kind of freaks them out. Because another thing that business owners have a hard time doing is hiring when they need to hire. And so outsourcing is a more comfortable and credible way to also build, because I know these guys will also say that they actually sometimes hire themselves out of their position because they get the company in such a good place that the full-time person can be brought on. And what's great about that full-time person is they are set up for success and not having to put out fires and go to a point of, oh, what have I gotten myself into? What's great about fractional help is it literally sets up the systems that you wouldn't know to set up, so that when you do scale to the point where you need a full-time person, you're ready.
12 years strong, Joe Vagnone is still delivering the conversations that count. More local Biz Now after the break, only on WSIC. Local starts here.
Okay, good. Thanks. Yeah, I'm real excited about this one.
Am I close enough to the mic?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. You are. It's
Me?
just, yep, you
Good.
are. You're all
All
good.
right, good.
Great. But yeah, it's
So that was your lead-in section.
That's what my.
From the Surf Pickleball and Kitchen, WSIC meteorologist Chase Myers. Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Good news for our community starts with an opportunity to help save lives. The Lake Norman Chamber and One Blood Drive is happening Wednesday, July 22nd from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce in Cornelius. Just one blood donation can help save up to 3 lives. Whether you're a regular donor or giving for the first time, your donation can make a real difference. Learn more and schedule your appointment at liveworkplaylkn.com. Panthers fans, football is almost here. Carolina Panthers Fan Fest returns to Bank of America Stadium on Friday, July 31st. Gates open at 5 p.m., followed by entertainment, player warm-ups, an open team practice, autograph opportunities, and a fireworks and laser show to cap off the evening. Tickets are just $5 with proceeds benefiting Carolina Panthers charities. Get all the details at liveworkplaylkn.com. Then mark your calendar for a night of laughs that supports a great cause. Farrah's Parenting presents Stand Up for Good on Saturday, August 29th at the Kane Center for the Arts in Cornelius. Charlotte media personality Ramona Holloway hosts the evening, with comedian E.J. Masacampo opening and America's Got Talent comedian Eric O'Shea headlining. Proceeds benefit Farrah's Parenting's child abuse prevention and family support programs serving North Mecklenburg and surrounding communities. Tickets are on sale now, including VIP experiences. Find ticket information at liveworkplaylkn.com. To discover more local happenings, visit liveworkplaylkn.com. It's your hometown source for community events, local news, and everything Lake Norman. That's liveworkplaylkn.com.
12 years of conversations, thousands of insights, and one truth: your business matters. This is Local Biz Now, only on WSIC. Local starts here.
All right. If you're serious about growing your business, lean in right now, because this is one of those segments you don't want to miss. Only on Local Biz Now, where your business matters. You've heard her before. One of our absolute top returning hosts. And every time she joins us, she raises the bar on how you think about scaling, profitability, and running a smarter operation. I am proud to say Sherré DeMao is back, founder and CEO of BizGrowth Inc., fractional COO to companies across the country, Forbes Council thought leader, and recognized by MSN as one of the top 10 women trailblazers in her industry. She's in the trenches with business owners every day, fixing what's broken, building what works, and helping companies grow with intention, not chaos. So get ready, because you're about to get a real strategy, real insight, and real world perspective you can actually use starting today. It's with great pride I present to you number one, Sherré DeMao. Sherré, the mic's all yours. Take it away.
That's great. And what's so exciting about this is who I'm going to be talking to next. And so what I mentioned before is I've got M.Stier and Paul Rafferty here, and I'm going to talk to M.Stier first. And M.Stier is a hands-on C-level executive with 35 years track record of growing companies to scalable, profitable stages. A 3-time entrepreneur, Michael brings broad-based experience and business expertise to his role with FocusCFO clients. He and his team of embedded fractional CFOs have guided clients in strategy, entrepreneurship, financial management, and scalable growth, merger and acquisition, among many other things. Prior to FocusCFO, Michael was the founder and CEO of an industry-disrupting fintech platform that grew to over $13 billion in assets, raising 3 rounds of private equity financing along the way. In late 2018, Michael completed a successful exit via a sale to a strategic buyer. So great to have you here, Michael.
Appreciate you inviting me on. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm real excited. You know, we've all known each other for a while, so it's very exciting to be back in the same room together, talking to the choir, so to speak, right? So please share a little more about your background and what led you to become a part of FocusCFO.
Well, you just went through my background about my prior chapter as being basically one of those business founders that started and ran a business and grew it for 18 years. So when the time finally came to exit that business and move on to the next chapter, I was looking for something of meaning, and FocusCFO found me. And
which is, I think, how it typically works with this group, right?
Yeah. And what I love about it is that they're very mission focused.
And very selective, too, I understand.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But very mission focused on wanting to help other founders and entrepreneurs be more successful in their business and ultimately have whatever optimal outcome they desire along the way, exit, transfer to the next generation, what have you along the way. And so for me, it was both in my wheelhouse and in my happy spot, because I loved just speaking with other business owners. In my prior business, we were basically a B2B business. So our client base was small, mid-sized businesses.
Which is great. You had so much exposure. Yeah.
Exactly. But there I was in one fairly narrow industry vertical. Now I get to work with business owners to speak with across just about every industry.
It's pretty awesome.
And I love that. And so for me, this is both my most fun professional chapter and an ability to kind of, I said, pay it forward a little bit.
That's awesome. Now, what are the different levels of engagement that a business can access through FocusCFO?
Our model is actually very simple. I mean, we start off by saying, our fractional CFO is literally embedded onto the leadership team of our clients.
And that's what it should be.
And what it should be, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of times, there's lots of other players who don't do that, but that's besides the point. But anyway, so the level of engagement really is simple as how much time, how many days per month does that business need our CFO to be part of their business, part of that leadership team? And probably the base case is a day a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I have some clients that are 2 days a week, I have a couple clients that are 3 days a week, and I have a couple clients that's a day every other week. But that's really the range in there. And it really depends on their needs, both with the needs of the business, complexity, how much needs to get cleaned up, as you said in your intro, all right, along the way, and also a little bit how much the business can afford.
Right.
So it's some combination of all those things.
Well, and I think what I want to say is every business I've worked with where the CFO, whether fractional or on the team, was a part of the strategic executive leader team and was viewed as such, that company scaled so much better.
We will only engage with a client where our CFO will literally be part of that leadership team.
It's critical.
It's critical. And before we even start, we will sit down and meet not only with the owner or owners,
all the other team,
everybody on that leadership team, because everybody has to be bought into both the fact that they want that CFO there and that particular person is the right fit for their team.
Now, what have been the biggest issues you've seen from a financial perspective that holds businesses back? So many, I know.
How do I begin? Interesting enough, and you probably see this, I start out when we first have our conversations with the most basics. Like, what is the difference between accounting and finance?
Yeah, or a balance sheet and P&L.
Right, and even beyond that. Because most business owners, as you said in your intro, when they first start up, they're very good at their product or service, right? And they're starting to build a team. Typically they have somebody doing their bookkeeping, whether it's an employee or outsourced, and they're producing basic financial reports, and they need a CPA to file their taxes so they don't go to jail. That is accounting.
Yes.
And that's all they know.
That's right.
But accounting by definition is a backward-looking function. Reporting, right? What happened last month, last quarter, last year, whatever. Finance is what they don't really understand. They've never been exposed to that before. Finance is a forward-looking.
Oh, I love that distinction.
Function.
Thank you. That's an important distinction.
Right. So it's, you can't, if you're in your car and you're going somewhere, you're not going to drive to that location only looking in the rearview mirror.
Right.
Right. You need your GPS, your navigator, all those things along the way, plant your rest stops, et cetera. That's the role of a CFO in the most essence of it, which is accounting is what happened. The CFO is based upon what happens next.
Yes, I love it. That's so important. So what assumptions are business owners making financially that are also hurting them versus empowering them?
you talk about profitability.
Yes.
Right? And so that's important. But here's where I see a lot of business owners stumbling.
Mm-hmm.
They equate profitability with financial health.
Yes, that's right. And it's not always the case.
It's usually far from the case.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I even did a LinkedIn post on this the other day. But I've seen too many owners where they have a profitable business and it's about to fail because they don't have any liquidity business. There's no cash. They can't pay their employees. They can't pay a vendor.
I could talk a long time about those reserves.
Oh my God. Right? I wish they had some reserves.
Yes.
Right. I've seen more than a handful of businesses.
And why don't they if they're profitable, right? Yeah.
Because they don't understand profits are paper, right? Cash in the bank, cash flow, right, is the lifeblood of the business.
Yes.
And they don't equate that because, quite frankly, all they do is if they look at it at all, is the P&L from the QuickBooks, right? Which says, hey, it says I'm profitable. Look at that number right there.
Right.
Meanwhile, they can't even pay their bill, right?
Right.
There's $20 in the checking account, right? That is the biggest hurdle mindset folks we can get forward with them is to build a cash flow mindset in the business. And that's not just, people paying their bills and I paying their bills, but do I have enough capital in the business? What am I choosing to invest in? Is what I'm going to invest in, whether it's hiring an employee, buying a piece of equipment, a truck or whatever, how is that going to ultimately lead to generating more cash into my business?
Exactly.
And that's a complete mindset change from what they've had before.
Well, and I think what I would love to say, because I know you get this, is a budget tends to look at what's happened and spending plan looks forward, right? And so having both of those is so critically important because then you're looking at what you're spending as investment, not an expense. Talk a little bit about that. I know we're going off script a little bit.
No, that's fine. In fact, that's the first conversation we have is why are you bringing on a fractional CFO? It's an investment in the growth of the business.
Yeah.
It's not an expense item. And so one of the first things, a big part of our job, especially initially, is building some financial discipline. Yes. Right? Not only into the business, but into the leadership team, how they're thinking about making decisions and ultimately what's going to be the return on whatever investment expense they're going to do that. And a lot of times that discipline doesn't exist. And part of what we do early on, very upfront before almost any other priority, one of the early things our CFO does, besides just getting into the business and understanding the numbers and getting to know how the operations works, is building a forward-looking cash flow forecast.
Excellent.
That is kind of fundamental. That in the beginnings of a real management dashboard, right? Not the P&L. Because not only is that the basis for making any future decisions, right? How is it going to impact our cash flow? But it helps our CFO understand how the business operates, because ultimately how the money flows really is understanding the business.
Well, and it also helps the business owner see ahead versus just what's happening right now.
100%.
Yeah. So where can someone learn more about FocusCFO and you?
So the easiest thing is through me. I'm happy to speak with any owners who are interested in learning more. It's M.Stier, S-T-I-E-R. I'm on LinkedIn. FocusCFO.com is our website. You can find me on the team page there as well. So either way, you can get a hold of me.
That's great. Now, what would you like business owners to know that maybe they most need to know?
Beyond what we just talked about,
Yeah.
Being a business owner, and I know this from experience, is lonely.
Yes.
It's challenging and it's lonely. And one of the mistakes I learned early on the hard way, like most business owners did, is that you need a team of experienced people around you, and people who've experienced in aspects outside of your industry, outside the size of your business, so you have someone to leverage, you can bounce things off of.
Well, and Henry Ford, I think, said it best: hire people smarter than you.
Absolutely.
That's great. And so I look forward. We're going to talk to Paul Rafferty next. Be right back.
Thank you.
"12 years strong, Joe Vagnone is still delivering the conversations that count. More local Biz Now after the break, only on WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, kicking off a new week with some unsettled weather, and at least in the short term, the heat isn't going anywhere. Back to the low and mid-90s for Monday with scattered showers and storms. Our Tuesday looking mainly dry but still hot in the low 90s as we go into the middle of the week, though by Wednesday, bring back another chance for some scattered storms. And We'll get a little bit of a break in the big-time heat by the later part of the week and into the weekend. That's your forecast from the Surf Pickleball and Kitchen. I'm WSIC meteorologist Chase Myers.
Hi, this is Bob McIntosh with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Since 1997, we have been committed to providing our clients with competent, caring, and experienced legal services. Learn more at McIntoshLawFirm.com.
Hi, I'm Barbara Kohler with the Kohler Group, a counseling practice located in the beautiful Detweiler Plaza on Reese Boulevard West in Huntersville. We have skilled Christian counselors available to help you using proven clinical techniques, and we offer telehealth throughout the Carolinas. We accept many major insurances, including Medicare. Visit us today at thekohlergroup.net to schedule a complimentary consult, because now is the time to heal.
Reimagining care, restoring trust. Discover One Health, where our mission is creating the healthcare we all deserve. One Health provides comprehensive primary care and OBGYN services across the Lake Norman area. Visit our website at onehealthmpc.com to read our story and find a provider.
Welcome to a Bible Minute with Pastor Randy Mitchell from Temple Baptist Church in Statesville.
The Bible says in 1 John chapter 2, verse number 15, "Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him." Folks, when God talks about loving the world is not just the breaking of the Ten Commandments. The world is a system, and the worldly system is orchestrated by Satan. It feeds off of our fleshly, sinful nature, and it's everything about us that wants to influence us and affect our life toward things that dishonor God. The next verse talks about the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life. These are all the things, the categories of the love of the world. But obviously, a relationship with God is a love relationship. We have to make a choice. You can love the world or you can love God, but you can't do both.
Thanks for listening to a Bible Minute with Pastor Randy Mitchell here on WSIC.
The button pushing stops here.
WSIC. Local starts here.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Stocks have been fluctuating. That's as investors eye developments very closely as they unfold in the Middle East. A federal judge temporarily pausing Paramount Skydance $110 billion takeover of Warner Brothers Discovery. Paramount and Warner Brothers hope to close as soon as Wednesday, but California and 22 other states sued last month to block the Hollywood mega merger, saying it would harm competition for film and cable TV distribution. Paramount pledging to vigorously defend the deal. Some big headlines for drivers. Costco starting to open standalone gas stations. Wall Street Journal says that's as a wholesale club tries to boost memberships. Odyssey's sellout cementing Christopher Nolan as Hollywood's biggest hero, the film bringing in more than $264 million globally in its opening weekend, surpassing expectations. The success attributed to Nolan's ability to draw in crowds for original storytelling, with the film's release following a multi-million-dollar promotional campaign and setting records for IMAX. Denise Pellegrini, Bloomberg Radio.
Friendly reminder, don't brake when you see the lake.
WSIC. Local starts here.
12 years of conversations, thousands of insights, and one truth: your business matters. This is Local Biz Now, only on WSIC. Local starts here.
Okay, if you're serious about growing your business, lean in right now, because this is one of those segments you don't want to miss. Only on Local Biz Now, where your business matters. You've heard her before, one of our absolute top returning hosts. And every time she joins us, she raises the bar on how you think about scaling, profitability, and running a smarter operation. I am proud to say Sherré DeMao is back. Founder and CEO of BizGrowth, Inc., Fractional COO to companies across the country, Forbes Council thought leader, and recognized by MSN as one of the top 10 women trailblazers in her industry. She is in the trenches with business owners every day, fixing what's broken, building what works, and helping companies grow with intention, not chaos. So get ready, because you're about to get real strategies, real insight, real-world perspective you can actually use starting today. It's with great pride I present to you number one, Sherré DeMao. Sherré, the mic is all yours.
Great, thanks. Great to be back and excited to interview our next guest, Paul Rafferty. Paul Rafferty is president of Piedmont Sales Advisors in affiliation with Sales Acceleration. He currently serves as a fractional CRO vice president of sales, helping small and mid-market businesses achieve breakthrough sales growth. Previously, Paul founded Sales Engine Media, which brought Fortune 500 best practices to businesses across the country, many of which were recognized as part of Inc. 5000's fastest growing companies from 2012 to 2015. Paul then became National Vice President Sales Operations for a Fortune 200 company, guiding a nationwide sales team of over 600 sales professionals. His first job was as a naval officer on a nuclear-powered attack submarine out of Charleston, South Carolina. And of course, now he is a chief revenue officer. But in his free time, he also, having attended the University of Notre Dame on an ROTC scholarship, he is also currently engaged with Notre Dame as a coach and trainer for Business Incubator in Ukraine. That's pretty darn cool. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So it is such a pleasure to have you here. And again, we go way back too as well. And so please share a little more about your background and what led you to become a part of Sales Acceleration, because like Michael, you have a very impressive executive background and business owner background. And now you're helping business owners across the country with the sales, increasing sales and revenue.
Well, thank you. So right after the Navy, I went to work in a Fortune 500 world, right? Spent 20 years there, relocated 5 times in 13 years, and my wife was exchanging Christmas cards with the moving van driver, So typical path of a salesperson, eventually being the National Sales Ops VP. So we had 600 people.
Wow.
I was in charge of all aspects of their performance, from training to hiring to compensating to tools to everything related to a sales force and and there's like probably 6 or 7 different sales forces within that group.
Yeah, sure.
So a lot of repetitions. Shortly after that, myself and a couple of friends founded a company to take those best practices to small and medium companies. And that's what Sales Engine was. And we helped 300 companies over 12 years to do that. And you get a lot of satisfaction out of that.
Oh, I bet you did.
Sure.
Yeah.
And as far as today, as a fractional VP of sales, I work with a lot of small companies, a lot of family businesses. You talked about the different skill sets, right?
Yeah.
There's always a missing link, right?
There always is. Yeah.
There's always a skill set that's not there. And the fact that those skills are available, really experienced people, for a fraction of the investment is very helpful. I have one client said to me, I don't need the general every day, but I do need what the general knows.
That's really awesome.
So,
now, what are the different levels of engagement that you provide?
In short, we will meet you where you're at.
Yeah.
I have one client
Most fractionals will, which is great. Yeah.
They had a battlefield promotion of a sales rep becoming a manager. Get him ready. Put me in, coach, right?
Coach and mentoring role.
Prepare him and fly away, little bird, so to speak. And that's rewarding. It really is. Some companies want you to tell them how to set up a structure. So you're an architect. Some companies want you to build it and then hand them the keys.
Right. Yeah.
Most companies want you to stick around and you become the accountable fractional VP of sales. You hold the sales meetings. You're part of the executive team. You run your metrics, and that's a lot of fun.
Now, what has been the biggest issues you have seen from a sales growth standpoint, and how businesses are approaching sales initiatives?
I see 3 major things, and the first one is the story. Too many people tell a Me Too story.
Oh,
it's
so
our
true.
people. And the first thing I do is spend time digging in to create a differentiated story against your competition, right? You'd be surprised how many people don't have that.
They think they do, but they don't.
Right.
Yeah.
And you need to have it in many different formats. You need to have it for an elevator speech. You need to have it for a 5-minute chat. You need to have it for a full presentation. You need to have it for many, but it needs to be consistent.
Yeah.
People can't get their minds around too many things. And the old baffle them with your BS doesn't work. In a confusing world, you need someone that brings clarity. So rather than asking people what's keeping them up at night, tell them what should be.
Oh, I like that. I like that. So what is 2 and 3 of that, after the differentiating story?
The second is accountability metrics.
Good.
You don't have a sales team unless you have accountability metrics. You need to know if you're winning or losing. You need to know how to course correct. You need to know that my goals, if I hit them, are going to make the company succeed. That's the beauty of sales, is it's measured, just like you, Michael.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's red or green. It's up or down. It's good or bad.
It's happening or it's not happening.
Good witch or bad witch, and you'll make the adjustment and get back in there.
And what's the third one?
Third one is top of the pipeline.
Okay,
is the most critical.
Explain that, because I don't think a lot of the business owners truly understand that. Yeah.
Prospecting.
Okay.
Cold calling. Emailing. It's the people who win overweight that part of their business. It's not fun, right? People tell you no.
That's true.
Right. But if you make that a best practice and do it well, you're going to succeed. It's more at bats, right?
Yeah.
Who's going to have more hits at the end of the baseball season? The person that.
It's all about the odds,
yes,
right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So what assumptions are business owners making about sales that's hurting them?
AI is really changing things.
Oh, yeah. And you're big on AI.
Well,
yeah.
it's a blessing and a curse.
It
right?
is. It is. Yeah.
It's a blessing because you have it. It's a curse because everyone else has it. So whatever you're doing, so certain channels that were pretty dynamite 5 years ago are really muddy and diluted and not as effective. So what I'll say to you is the phone still matters, right? You're still going to get 95% voicemail, but leave a voicemail. Get your story told. Get credit for the work you're doing, right? It's the old tree falls in the woods analogy, right? Get credit for that. So.
Well, and I think another assumption that's made, I'd love you to talk about, going off script again because I know you can handle it, is the fact that too many business owners confuse sales and marketing. And so talk to me a little bit about why it's so important to understand the difference between the two and how they support each other.
They work very closely together.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that message.
Yeah.
It's got to be consistent with sales
and
and
the
marketing.
Yeah,
right?
or it's very confusing. Yeah.
A simple distinction is marketing gets you to your first meeting, right? It is, they call it above the funnel, and they will use many wonderful aspects and levers to get what's called a marketing qualified lead, right? Somebody who's separated from the great unwashed of not caring. They care about you. You got them to pay attention, right? And you nurture them, and then they will agree to a meeting, and then they become a sales accepted lead. Note the words, sales accepted lead. That's when sales takes over, right? And then marketing keeps nurturing ones. So
how can somebody learn more about you and sales acceleration and reach you?
So sales acceleration is XCELERATION, but I'm one of 200 people.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful because if you hire one of us, you've hired all of us.
Yeah.
They're all different industries, trip over themselves to help you. And it's wonderful. And an incubator is created of all the ideas that all these people have, and everybody brings them, and they distill them. We've got an answer to everything because of that. So,
yeah. Well, and I think something that's really powerful for both you and Michael and all fractional CFOs, fractional executives, is the ability to resource and gain opportunities because of the diverse industries you've worked in.
That's right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll be
12 years strong, Joe Vagnone is still delivering the conversations that count. More Local Biz Now after the break, only on WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, kicking off a new week with some unsettled weather, and at least in the short term, the heat isn't going anywhere. Back to the low and mid-90s for Monday with scattered showers and storms. Our Tuesday looking mainly dry but still hot in the low 90s as we go into the middle of the week, though. By Wednesday, bring back another chance for some scattered storms, and we'll get a little bit of a break in the big-time heat by the later part of the week and into the weekend. That's your forecast from the Surf Pickleball and Kitchen. I'm WSIC meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Good news for our community starts with an opportunity to help save lives. The Lake Norman Chamber and One Blood Blood Drive is happening Wednesday, July 22nd from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce in Cornelius. Just one blood donation can help save up to 3 lives. Whether you're a regular donor or giving for the first time, your donation can make a real difference. Learn more and schedule your appointment at liveworkplaylkn.com. Panthers fans, football is almost here. Carolina Panthers Fan Fest returns to Bank of America Stadium on Friday, July 31st. Gates open at 5 p.m., followed by entertainment, player warm-ups, an open team practice, autograph opportunities, and a fireworks and laser show to cap off the evening. Tickets are just $5 with proceeds benefiting Carolina Panthers charities. Get all the details at liveworkplaylkn.com. Then mark your calendar for a night of laughs that supports a great cause. Farrah's Parenting presents Stand Up for Good on Saturday, August 29th at the Kane Center for the Arts in Cornelius. Charlotte media personality Ramona Holloway hosts the evening, with comedian E.J. Masacampo opening and America's Got Talent comedian Eric O'Shea headlining. Proceeds benefit Farrah's Parenting's child abuse prevention and family support programs serving North Mecklenburg and surrounding communities. Tickets are on sale now, including VIP experiences. Find ticket information at liveworkplaylkn.com. To discover more local happenings, visit liveworkplaylkn.com. It's your hometown source for community events, local news, and everything Lake Norman. That's liveworkplaylkn.com.
It's more than baseball. It's a night out. The Harbor Hippos bring theme nights, food trucks, raffles, and non-stop fun to every home game. Join the crowd at Huntersville Athletic Park and make summer memories that hit it out of the park. Visit harborhippos.com.
"12 years of conversations, thousands of insights, and one truth: your business matters. This is Local Biz Now, only on WSIC. Local starts here.
And we're back. Don't go anywhere. This is Local Biz Now, where your business matters. And we've got one more great conversation lined up for you. Join us as Sherré DeMao, bringing fresh perspective, real-world experience, and insights every local business owner can use. Sherré, I am so proud to have you with us. Go ahead and finish up the show strong. The mic is all yours.
All right, this is great. This has been such a great conversation. I can't wait for this last segment. But one little statistic I wanted to share that shows that Michael was way ahead of the curve is that since 2018, fractional executives have gotten 3 times bigger in how they're being resourced by companies. And this is just in the United States. This isn't globally, okay? It's even higher globally, which is really fascinating. And what's also fascinating is initially, during the time of this really starting to grow, CFOs were what were resourced the most.
Initially. And now you've got COOs, scaling operations, CMOs, marketing, building repeatable demand generation and marketing. You've got the CRO with the revenue. You've got Chief Strategy Officer for strategic planning. And then you have CHRO, human resource, for development and organizational design. And we know somebody who's really good at that we have done work with our own clients. So let's get back to what we can teach business owners that they may not be thinking about. And what's interesting is you alluded to the whole profitability thing earlier, Michael. And so I want both of you to talk a little bit about this, because this is important in all executive roles, to understand profitability. And so profitable sales and profitable company, and I even wrote a Forbes article on this because of the fact this
You know, there are companies that weren't profitable at all, and then they wondered why they didn't make it. They didn't make it. Okay, there you go. All right. So they can be profitable in the wrong ways, or they can be never profitable, and then, oops, they're not going to make it. So from each of your perspective, what advice would you give to businesses on the importance of profitability from a finance standpoint, from a sales standpoint?
I'm going to let Paul go first.
Yeah, let's go first, Paul.
So as far as profitability goes, it's always critical, right? Businesses are math problems. And I would say a sales force, you don't need to go hire heavy hitter, right? There's different components along the way of sales reps, right? Sales development reps who can prospect. AI agents can handle a lot of things now. And I think Benioff, the CEO of PeopleSoft, said that AI is digital labor. So, in a sales force, you can trim that down. So that helps profit. Everywhere along the continuum of a sales process, there are ways to become more profitable.
Well, and I love the fact that you're bringing AI into it from a standpoint, because that's something that we're trying to help businesses understand too, because we're leveraging it. Is that AI is a way to get people to be more productive at a higher dollar value level, all right, by having that assistance, right? Not replacing them, but helping them do higher level work.
That's right.
But then also just the fact that people have an understanding about the importance of profitability, that's real important too.
Right.
Yeah.
You may remember from Shark Tank that they look at customer acquisition cost, right?
Yeah.
And customer lifetime value. And if they don't like that, you're gone.
Right.
Right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So, Michael, what would you add to that? Because you already talked a little bit about it earlier.
We did. And also the fact that profits don't necessarily equate to cash.
Right. Exactly.
Right? And that's the big
so
thing.
important.
You know,
Yeah.
obviously, you can't have cash flow without being profitable, but you could be profitable and not have cash.
Right. Which a lot of people, like, I'm sure there's some people going, oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Cash is king.
Yeah. Cash is always king.
The biggest conversation I try to get with owners is understanding whether or not they're building a business, a lifestyle business, or business of value.
Absolutely. Right.
Right. And business of value means it's something that at some point somebody's gonna be willing to pay money to have.
And that means cash flow, profitability, reserve, capital investment, assets. It goes on and on and
all
on.
that stuff.
Right.
But at the most fundamental level, what a buyer, and I went through this when I was selling my business.
Oh, of course you did. Yeah.
What they're paying for is not how profitable you were last quarter, last year, or whatever. What they're paying money for is how much cash they can generate after the sale, after they acquire that, and how they can grow that cash. And remember, I'm saying cash, not profits, right? So if you don't have that structure in place where you're turning profit into cash, right? You don't have the systems, the people, the methodologies in place to turn that into cash and having the discipline behind that. That's what they're buying. If you don't have that, you're either not going to sell it at all,
or it's not going to be the number you'd hope for.
It's going to take a huge haircut.
So as a chief operations or strategy officer, I often see that not enough strategic due diligence has been done to validate opportunities and priorities. And this results in assumptions being made that misdirect ideal and most optimal activity. I see it all the time. So what are things that too many business owners don't pay attention in each of your areas that they should be paying attention to for greater optimal execution? So
let me let you go first.
Go ahead.
You let me go there first?
Michael, yeah.
So it gets back to the statement I made earlier.
Yeah.
Right. It's the discipline of looking at investments, what you're going to spend your dollars on. What's that going to return in dollars back, actual cash flow back? And a lot of times owners will look at it and say, oh, I can increase sales by this or what have you. But they don't look at the total aspect of what's it actually going to result in as far as dollars back in the door. And that's the biggest thing. So I get too many business owners who, quite honestly, chase the nice shiny ball, spinning ball that's out there.
Let's try this. Let's try that.
I literally had this conversation with a client this morning, right? And so they're investing a lot of big dollars, but if they don't have a clear, disciplined forecast of what's going to be required to take that investment and turn it into cash at the end result, they're going to, more than likely than not, they're going to miss the ball and they're not going to get the return, or they're not going to get any return at all.
And so what would you say from a sales standpoint is something business owners need to pay more attention to?
I would say the sales math.
Okay,
So
let's talk
one of the
about that.
first things we do is lay out what's your revenue target, right? How much will be this year, and what's your average deal size? So this tells you how many you're going to have to close, what's your close rate. What this gives you is,
And you're getting metrics in place too that they probably didn't have before.
that's exactly right.
Right.
In a situation, a CEO was shocked to understand how many leads he had to generate. He wanted to blame his sales manager, he blamed his sales rep, but no, you need to generate this many new opportunities somehow to succeed. And
Well, you
they
know,
change their
I've got
investment.
such a great story related to that. Working with a manufacturing company, and we were doing some due diligence research, and we were talking to IBM, one of their biggest customers, and they were about to release a contract of multi-million dollars for a specific product that this company had, but the purchasing agent had no idea that they had this particular product. So I go back to the president, and the president's all ticked off at the sales team and the marketing team. But then I remember seeing this information that went just to the new markets, and nothing was sent to their existing customer base.
Yep.
Now, the good news is they ended up getting that contract. But if that interview hadn't happened, they would have lost a multi-million-dollar deal.
Right.
And so process is also important there,
That's
right?
right.
You know, your sale. Who should you go to first? Always your customers. I was just blown away by that.
One of the, and you know this, one
Yeah.
of the most synergistic partnerships in a business is between finance and sales.
Yes, yes.
Because we're going to arm Paul's efforts and Paul's team with the information they need to make intelligent decisions. What's profitability by product, by service line, by
Right.
customer? Without that, how do they know what to sell and who to sell to and what to
Exactly.
price it for?
That's right.
They can sell a lot of things that make you lose money.
Yes.
Right.
Oh boy, have we seen that, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so we've only got a few minutes here, but I'd like each of you to take about a minute and tell a success story that really has made you proud. So let's go to Paul, and then we'll go to Michael.
Yeah, there's someone I'm working with that had their first profitable quarter in 5 years.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just the things I just described to you. Just do it.
That's
Do
awesome.
it religiously and without apology, and it works.
Okay, Michael, what about you? What would be a good one you could share?
I think in categories, I look at what are success stories for us. You mentioned one in the intro.
Yeah.
If we help a business grow to the point where they need a full-time CFO
Yeah.
to replace us, that's a success story.
Yeah.
We call that graduation. If we
I
help
love
them,
it.
we help them get big and healthy enough where they actually wind up getting, they sell
Mm-hmm.
the business. They get a great offer they want to sell. To us, that's that's reaching the pinnacle of the climb.
Yeah.
Right. To have that's kind of optimal outcome. But along the other side of the same coin is a lot of times we're working with multi-generational businesses where
Yes.
we're helping them move and transition to the next generation. So not selling it externally, but we're positioning and training and
The next generation is going to be a better strategic leader.
right. So we wind
Yeah.
up doing a lot of time mentoring and coaching and setting up
great.
them up to be able to be successful.
Yeah, that's great.
Can I add something?
Please.
Yeah, please.
That is one of the most motivating things about my job.
Yeah.
Is I really don't care about some penny per share somewhere in Minnesota. I do care about helping this man care for his kids.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Well, and I think what I also love is in all three of our roles, the confidence in the business owner's confidence level in their own business. I've actually had clients fall back in love with their business when they were just really to the point of exhaustion and frustration. And
We see that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sure you, as much as we do,
Yeah,
you do as well.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And if you get to the point where they're focused on just the stuff that they love doing,
Yeah.
and they have a team around them to do everything else,
Right.
that's a win. That's a huge win.
It's a huge win.
Yeah.
So how can we reach each of you one more time? Okay, 10 seconds. I think we've already said it. So
And
That's right. We got it. P. Rafferty at salesacceleration.com.
M.Stier at FocusCFO.com.
Okay, great. Well, thank you guys for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure. I think we gave business owners a heck of a lot to think about. And I think what I hope is that we can continue to make the difference that we're making with each business that we touch, because I know that is very rewarding for us. Because in a way we are we are the economic vitality for these businesses.
100% agree.
Yeah. Very good.
Thank you for inviting us again.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
You're
Sherré.
welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much. And so next week, we're going to be focusing on how the importance of philanthropy and giving back to the community as a part of being a responsible corporate citizen and small business, and how that actually returns maybe even 5 or 10-fold than you might have realized. And it's been documented in research, which is pretty darn awesome. So I look forward to having those guests next week. And thank you, Paul and Michael, for being here.
Thank you again.
Thanks, Sherré.
Thank you.
Enjoyed it.